What if I told you that pineapples were once so valuable that people rented them like luxury cars? Or that ancient Rome made modern New York look spacious? History is packed with incredible stories that somehow got lost along the way. Facts so wild they sound made up, but are absolutely true. Stay tight, as today, we re-diving deep into 5 of history's most fascinating forgotten facts, which indeed are the bizarre, surprising, and sometimes shocking truths that textbooks left out. So grab a snack, settle in, and let's uncover these hidden gems of history together. Gay army that never lost. Ancient Thebes once assembled an elite military force consisting of 150 pairs of gay male lovers. They went undefeated in war. In 362 BCE, the Theban army, which at the time was made up of 150 pairs of gay male lovers who had been training for war since childhood, went head-to-head against the invading army of Sparta at the Battle of Tegera. Sparta was considered the greatest military power in Greece at the time, but they were defeated by the Thebans. According to Plutarch, the reason for Theban dominance was that the men fought together as a single unit, relying on each other to cover their flanks. This close bond between the soldiers was also the reason for their success in war. The losing Spartan king, King Archidamus, was so impressed with the Theban army that he made a 180 and became an honorary Theban citizen after the battle. Thebes, however, would eventually decline after their defeat at the Battle of Leuctra in 371 BC, where their army was crushed by a rival Greek state. Ancient Rome vs modern NYC. Ancient Rome was 8 times more densely populated than modern New York. The population of ancient Rome at its peak was around 1 million people, while today, New York has a population of about 8 million people, spread out over 3,000 square miles. But in ancient Rome, the entire population was crammed into just 148 square miles, which is just a tiny portion of Manhattan. To make things worse, there was no efficient way to get rid of human waste in the city. Emperor Nero attempted to solve this problem by hiring people to collect the waste. But this led to a black market where people would pay high prices to have their toilets cleaned. So if you hate living in a densely populated area, just be glad you don't live in ancient Rome. Pineapple rental business. Pineapples used to be rented as a symbol of wealth and power. In the 18th century, wealthy landlords would rent out pineapples as a symbol of their wealth and power. Renting a pineapple meant that you could put a pineapple on your front lawn, or on top of your gate to show off to other people. It was such a popular trend that people would even rent fake pineapples made out of metal or plaster. But not everyone could afford to rent a pineapple, so poorer people would sometimes steal them from the wealthy. In response, wealthy people started putting their pineapples inside of their homes, leading to a new trend of pineapple-shaped wallpaper. So if you're ever feeling down because you can't afford to rent a pineapple, just remember that you're in a better position than people in the 18th century. Hawaiian kings' harems. Hawaiian kings commonly had harems of both male and female lovers. When missionaries arrived in Hawaii in 1820, they demanded that the Hawaiian king, King Kamehameha I, abandon his harems of both male and female lovers. However, despite the missionaries' best efforts, this was not possible as the king had contracted to marry a 14-year-old British nobleman when he turned 21, and at the time, it was customary for Hawaiian nobility to have harems of both male and female lovers. The missionaries were unsuccessful in their attempts to curb the king's sexual appetite, and they eventually gave up and left Hawaii. So if you're ever in Hawaii and you see a statue of the king, just remember that he was a real womanizer. Medieval speakers couldn't speak. In medieval England, the Speaker of the House was not allowed to speak. The Speaker of the House in medieval England was responsible for maintaining order in the House of Commons. He would stand in the centre of the room and use his position to keep the members of Parliament under control. However, he was not allowed to speak unless he was giving a ruling on a point of order. This was because it was believed that if the Speaker of the House spoke too much. He would abuse his power. In 1341, the Speaker of the House broke the rules and spoke out against the king, and he was subsequently hanged for treason. So if you are ever in charge of a group of people and you want to set some ground rules, just remember that one of the rules should be that you're not allowed to speak too much. Otherwise, you might end up getting hanged. And there you have it, 5 incredible facts that prove history is far stranger and more fascinating than we often give it credit for. From the sacred band of Thebes showing that love really can conquer all, to medieval speakers who took silent leadership to the extreme. These stories remind us that human nature has always been wonderfully complex and surprising. Outro and subscribe. Which of these facts shocked you the most? Comment below. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. That's what keeps us refuel every time. And hey, if you know someone who loves surprising historical facts as much as you do, share this video with them. After all, the best stories are meant to be shared. Thanks for joining me on this journey through history's forgotten facts. See you in the next one. Until next time, keep questioning, keep learning, and remember the past is always more interesting than it seems.